Hey everybody, Adam Savage here to wish you all a happy Banana Day. Is it International Banana Day? Let's just call it International Banana Day. It is Banana Day, and bananas deserve a celebration. They're full of potassium, they're mildly radioactive, and a couple of things you might not know about bananas. You might have tasted faux banana flavoring and wondered why it doesn't taste like the bananas you currently eat. That's because a lot of faux banana flavoring was developed back in the 60s and 70s when the banana we were eating back then was called the Gros Michel. And all of them are clones of each other because they're seedless. The issues you can have with a clone fruit is that it can be subject to blight, as the Gros Michel was, and it doesn't exist anymore for the most part. We now eat something called the Cavendish banana, and eventually that will give way to another kind of banana because cloned fruits are essentially kind of vulnerable. Those are my banana facts. And we're going to cover some special bananas here in the cave today. But I wanted to start with just talking about this. A few weeks ago, I covered this tiny little briefcase of amazing little micro tools made by a Japanese company called Castem, C-A-S-T-E-M. And these are all functional. And they're all cast, which is insane. Obviously, they're showing off their core competency with this. And we'll include a link to this video in the description. But it begs the question as to how to even give you guys reference for how small these tools are. And I thought, let's use a banana for scale. So let's. Okay. We've been thinking for months how to make a joke out of this ridiculous banana, of which there are 3. Okay, so we've been getting a whole bunch of bananas over the past few... Oh, there you are. Hi, A camera. We've been getting a whole bunch of bananas over the past few months, and we thought we would do a banana compendium on Banana Day, International Banana Day. These 3 bananas are absolutely amazing. They are 3D printed. They're 3D printed by a company called Stratasys, and Stratasys actually can 3D print in color. These are all identical. I guess scanned off of real bananas, but dude, okay. The one thing I want to say is they're soft, which is kind of spectacular and weird. And apparently they can adjust the softness of these by just changing the matrix inside. Dude, just Fawn Davis, good friend of Tested's, Fawn Davis and Fawnco down in Los Angeles, has a long time relationship with these Stratasys guys. And they asked if they could send me these bananas, and Fawn connected us up. Dudes, these are like the funniest things that have been on my shelf for the past few months. These are endlessly hilarious and also mildly horrifying to touch. Thank you, Stratasys, for the awesome soft bananas and the banana for scale joke. We can mess with your whole persuasion with these. But to go back to the beginning, I believe this is the very first banana for scale that I was given by a fan. And I love this thing. You don't know this about me, but I have always loved fake fruit. I've always thought fake fruit was hilarious. I bought a fake banana at a garage sale when I was like 7, and that banana was part of I put that banana in the fruit bowl probably every other week for a good portion of my childhood. Pranking my parents with the plastic banana was endlessly entertaining to me. I also had a plastic egg, which I put in every dozen eggs. I put that all the time. My mom even at one point was like boiling eggs, and she was like, why is this one egg floating? And it was because it was hollow plastic. So I have a particular fondness for this banana. We covered this before on the channel, I believe, and if we can find the video, we'll include a link to that one in the description. This one, and I think it's our coverage of this one, that lent to someone sending me this one. What's special about it is that they've added an actual scale on the banana, and it happens to be my tattoo scale. That chef's kiss. That is a great gift to send. I really, really appreciate it. That is just spectacular. But we're not done with the banana scaling. Oh no. Because I was also given this. And what's great about this is it is a casting in hard urethane or slightly flexible urethane of the famous banana held to the wall with duct tape sculpture. I cannot remember the name of the artist, and it's probably because I'm mad. This thing sold for $6.2 million. And that, we're actually going to pause here in this video so I can talk to you a little bit about one of my all-time heroes, Marcel Duchamp. Marcel Duchamp was an artist and a chess player in the early part of the 20th century, and he lived in Paris. Duchamp was kind of the original art world troll. So if you think of Banksy, and you think of Damien Hirst, and you think of Jeff Koons as magnificent trolls of the art world, they all owe their origin story to Duchamp. And here's where, so Duchamp is the first person to make what he called a ready-made. He took a bottle drying rack. Actually, no, it wasn't a bottle drying rack. It was a toilet. He put a toilet in a group show, and he credited it to R. Mutt. And he called it a ready-made. And it's magnificent. And he is, by putting this toilet in a gallery, he is making fun of the art world's deconstruction of everything at the same time as he's celebrating it. This is what's going on in the early 20th century. Cubism has led to futurism and surrealism and Dadaism, and basically everything that we called art up until like a couple dozen years before that in the late 19th century is falling to pieces in the best way. In Paris, everyone's trying all sorts of different things, and Duchamp is there, and he's still calling bullshit on it in some really important ways. Now, here's another place in which Duchamp is really important in art history. We know that Cubism was like one of the first abstract arts, one of the first abstractions of art past the realist. And we know, from our art history classes that Picasso and Braque were the first Cubists, trading back and forth ideas about planes and breaking apart of reality into schisms to paint each one. And I love those paintings of Picasso and Braque's. But the whole idea of Cubism as like a sort of con, that was real back then, and people were really angry about those paintings. And they were especially angry because the first Cubist painting that made it over to the United States was not a Picasso or a Braque, it was Duchamp. And Duchamp, I think we can show a picture of this. Duchamp's painting was called Nude Descending a Staircase, and it's a masterpiece. I love this painting. I've seen it in person, I think. It's probable. At any rate, by calling it Nude Descending a Staircase, by giving it this classicist title, he's sending a message to the art world. He's taking everything less seriously in this beautiful way. And so Nude Descending a Staircase shows up at the Armory in that show they had in I think it's 1914, and it's a scandal. So Duchamp leads to all sorts of other wonderful, playful artists. I think Rauschenberg was hugely inspired by him. I know Koons was, and Banksy 100%. And this is in a rich tradition of Duchamp, except that it sold for $6.2 million. I just find the money grab of this, I perhaps should celebrate it. And for some part of me is also a little mad about it. I can't reconcile those things. I don't have like a coherent philosophy of why I think this is shit while I love Marcel Duchamp. And I don't mean this is shit. Like, again, I like a meta commentary. But who paid this money? And what does the artist show up to their house every 3 months, or every couple of weeks, or every time he has a party and wants to have a banana on the wall, you get the artist to do it? Or is there an instruction sheet for exactly how to hold the banana while someone tapes it? Is the piece of tape inspect? Is there a guidebook that only the owner of this piece has about how to hang this piece? I know I've banged on way too long about this one piece, but I had a lot of thoughts about it. Earlier last year, I got to go to Australia and visit one of my favorite YouTube channels, Cutting Edge Engineering. Curtis and Karen They do all the same stuff I do here in the shop, except at like 20x scale and even more. They work on pneumatic cylinders that are tens of thousands of pounds. And when I was there, they hooked me up. I couldn't find the one they gave me, the banana for scaled calipers. They have permission from this 3D, this artist to brand, and they sell their own cutting edge engineering banana calipers. I love, you can go to their site, or you can also go to this printables to print up your own. We'll include links to both of those in the description. Dude, the whole idea of banana for scale and how far everyone's taking it makes me very happy. Not least of which is because I feel like one of the more important videos I have released in the last 5 years on Tested was released on the day after Thanksgiving, or I recorded it the day after Thanksgiving 2021 or 22, and it was about my clarity that there's no such thing as a measurement. We'll include a link to that one too in the description. So I'm very, very pleased, and I love this very much, these banana calipers. We went online and found plenty of other bananas for scale that you can print up. Norm printed this up on the brand new Bamboo, and it's maybe hard to tell, but he co-printed some black filament at the base of the numbers. That's one of those subtler little kind of, oh, there it is there, holding it up. Maybe you can see the black at the bottom of that. Okay, we're gonna bring this all around full circle back. Remember this briefcase of these tiny little tools? Well, Custom, they also make their own banana. It's bronze, it weighs a ton, and this isn't even the biggest bronze they make. They make this, and they call it the banana hammer, which if that's not a pro wrestling name, nom de plume, I really feel like it should be. Someone should be going out as the banana hammer. And this is literally a hammer that you can hammer a nail with that is cast out of a banana. Dude, what could be better in the world? How many bananas did you think we were gonna cover? I'm gonna guess it's at least 3 more that we covered than you imagined. Now I'm gonna go get a piece of wood and a nail, and I'm gonna try and drive that nail with this banana hammer. Yeah, that's how this has to close. There's my piece of wood. I rescued this from a pallet rack that arrived the other day. And now we're going to set this nail with a banana hammer. I want to tell you that my shop assistant came to me a few weeks ago and was like, dude, do you have any nails? And I was like, no, I didn't. Nails was one thing I did not have in this shop until a few weeks ago. I remedied it almost immediately, but I so almost never use nails that they never come up. All right, I'm about to set this nail with this banana hammer. I want to point out how happy it makes me. So Custom are clearly masters of their craft. The finesse of these fine tools, I find it hard to reconcile how accurate and beautifully shaped these tiny parts are. And here they are using maybe one of the oldest casting techniques in human history, the bronze casting, to make a banana hammer. This is a great full circle. So here we go, setting a wire brad nail with a banana hammer. That's actually not that bad. And actually I kind of like, yeah. Okay, now you can sometimes mark your wood, I guess. Let me see, I'm gonna try one thing here. We'll try setting another one. Ah! Oh, you gotta pay attention, kid. 25 cents every time you miss the nail. That was my dad's thing when I was helping him build a deck. He didn't literally charge me 25 cents every time I missed a nail, but he did tell me that those were the requirements of his first job. Yes, after I've driven these wire brads up to their hilt in this wood, I will be throwing it away so I don't accidentally run this on the table saw. Now I want to try something and see if I can't come to a finer way of setting this nail without marking the wood around it. Here we go, bringing it in almost all the way. Now I want to make sure it's level. Let me see if I can use the other banana as a nail set. Let's try this. Here we go. It's not. Not quite. Hold on. There it is. Okay, one last one to wrap this all up. Thank you guys for joining me for National Banana Day. Go enjoy a lovely banana today. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Hello. 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 Here you go. Banana for scale. Wait. Oh my God, we have it here. Finally, we do it. Banana for scale. These bananas were gifts from Stratasys. It is the same print in different sizes, and we've been trying to figure out a way to get these on camera for a long time. I think we've done it.